I continue walking through the train cars, my footsteps echoing softly. The endless series of compartments makes me question if I'm trapped in a loop or if there's truly an exit waiting at the end. Flashbacks flood my mind as memories of the failed rescue mission resurface. Guilt washes over me as images of the innocent passengers lost in that tragic ordeal appear before my eyes. The weight of regret and responsibility bears down heavily on my chest. Not only the pain of the rescue mission haunts me, but also the devastating loss of my beloved wife, Emily. Her face, her smile, her presence, it all replays in my mind like a relentless tape. The pain of her absence, the guilt of not being there for her, still cuts deep. The memory of Emily's passing brings even more guilt and self-blame. The realization that my absence and the state I was in contributed to her suffering adds to the weight of my regrets. The pain of losing her and knowing that I played a role in it is almost unbearable. The weight of guilt and self-blame intensifies as the realization sinks in. I was the cause of Emily's death. The memories of that fateful day come flooding back, the pain and regret searing through my soul. The haunting truth that my own mental struggles led to her demise is a cruel and unbearable truth I must confront. Overwhelmed by a mix of grief, guilt, and despair, I collapse to my knees. The weight of these memories and emotions becomes too much to bear, pushing me to the brink. As tears stream down my face, I can't help but wonder if there's any redemption for me, or if I'll forever be haunted by these shadows of my past. Summoning a deep well of resilience and determination, I rise to my feet once more. While the shadows of my past weigh heavily on my shoulders, I know that I can't let them define my future. With a renewed sense of purpose, I take a deep breath and continue forward, determined to find a way out of this labyrinth and strive to make amends for my mistakes. The words echo in my mind as I remember my own personal mantra. Protecting the innocent and putting down criminal scum is exactly why I joined the Force. These words have been my guiding principle throughout my years in the Force, a driving force that fuels my dedication to justice and serves as a reminder of the oaths I have sworn to uphold. Taking a deep breath, I gather my composure and push forward. The endless train carriages stretch out before me, but I remain determined not to let the echoes of my past hold me back. With each step, I focus on the task at hand, finding an exit and continuing my duty to protect the innocent. As I move through the train carriages, my eyes catch sight of something unexpected. My Glock 19 handgun, lying discarded on one of the seats. The sight of my firearm sparks a mix of surprise and relief, a glimmer of hope in this seemingly endless maze. Quickly, I pick up the Glock, ensuring it's loaded and ready for use. The familiar weight of the weapon in my hand provides a sense of reassurance, a tangible connection to my duty and my training. With my firearm secured, I continue my journey through the train cars, more vigilant and prepared for whatever lies ahead. As I approach a corner, the sound of movement catches my attention. I come to a halt and step back into the shadows, carefully listening and trying to determine the source of the noise. The adrenaline pumps through my veins as I prepare myself for potential danger, my hand instinctively reaching for the Glock at my side, ready for whatever might be waiting around the corner. My suspicion deepens as I spot a group of people in the next train car. But something seems off. Their movements are oddly synchronized and mechanical, almost robotic. The fact that people are even here in this seemingly endless labyrinth is already perplexing, but their strange behavior adds an extra layer of unease and confusion. I step back further into the shadows, observing the strange group from a distance. It's impossible to make out their faces, but their synchronized movements have an eerie, uncanny valley effect. As much as I want to investigate further, caution takes precedence. I remain hidden, keeping watch on the peculiar group, unsure what their intentions might be. Taking advantage of the opportunity, I make a sprint through the next train car, moving quickly while staying close to the walls. To my surprise, the people in the car show no reaction to my presence, continuing with their synchronized movements as if I'm invisible. The lack of response fuels my curiosity and concern, making me question the true nature of this strange phenomenon. Reaching the other end of the car, I press myself against the wall, watching the people intently. Their continued indifference adds to the eeriness of the situation, but the fact that they haven't acknowledged my presence gives me the chance to move forward without interruption. With a mix of caution and determination, I step into the next train car, keeping a close eye on my surroundings, ready for anything. As I step into the next train car, I find the contrast striking. The car appears normal, with no sign of the bizarre people from the previous car. The sudden shift in environment leaves me puzzled and on guard. Was the previous scene a hallucination? A trick of my mind? I shake my head, trying to clear my thoughts, and carefully proceed, my gun held at the ready. My heart skips a beat as I notice a bloodied figure appear at the other side of the car, materializing out of the shadows. The sight of this disfigured individual triggers an immediate rush of adrenaline, my senses heightening as I prepare for potential danger. Clutching my Glock tightly, I take a defensive stance, my eyes fixed on the figure, assessing any potential threat. The silence hangs heavy in the air as the figure stands motionless before me. Its stillness and eerie silence only add to the unsettling atmosphere. I maintain my defensive stance, gun still raised. The need to approach and investigate is strong, but caution warns me to proceed with extreme care. I take a tentative step forward, never lowering my guard. With caution in my every movement, I cautiously move closer to the motionless figure. Every step feels like hours as I near the mystery of this strange entity. My senses are on high alert, expecting any sudden movement or change in demeanor. The closer I get, the more details I can make out. The bloodied clothes, the cold stare, yet the figure remains completely still, waiting. As I approach the figure, the veil of mystery slowly lifts. The woman is drenched in blood, the crimson liquid staining her clothes and the white cloth covering her body. A single strip of white cloth obscures her face, shrouding it from view. The eerie silence that surrounds her adds to the macabre scene. I stand face to face with this enigma, trying to discern her intentions while maintaining a defensive stance. I freeze in surprise as the woman figure gently rests her hand on my shoulder. The unexpected touch catches me off guard, sending a shiver down my spine. The feel of her fingers, cold and slightly sticky from the blood, contrasts sharply with the warmth of my skin. I turn my gaze to her, desperately trying to discern her intentions, and yet her covered face gives nothing away. A wave of confusion washes over me as the woman figure speaks a single word, "Honey." The sound of her voice, soft and eerily distorted, sends a chill down my spine. The unexpected familiarity of her tone clashes with her ominous appearance and the bloodied state she's in. The thought sends a jolt of realization through me. Could this figure be Emily? Her voice had a familiar quality that stirs a mix of hope and dread within me. I stare at the woman, searching for any sign that would confirm my suspicion. A wave of emotions washes over me as the woman figure whispers, "I missed you." Her words cut through me like a knife, stirring up a whirlwind of thoughts and feelings. How could this be possible? Is this truly Emily, or just a manifestation of my grief and guilt? Confusion and hope battle within me as I struggle to make sense of this eerie encounter. My breath catches in my throat as Emily's face is unveiled, and I am met with the face of the woman I loved. Time seems to stand still as I take in the sight before me. Grief and disbelief wash over me, mingling with a glimmer of joy at the possibility of seeing Emily once more. My heart aches with the weight of regret, yet hope stirs within me as I stand face to face with her. As the woman figure slowly uncovers her head, her face comes into view, and I see the familiar features of Emily. The shock hits me like a punch to the gut. It's her, my late wife, standing before me, a mixture of love and sorrow in her eyes. Confusion and disbelief wash over me, my mind struggling to process the impossibility of this situation. With a mix of sorrow and remorse, I voice my deepest regrets to Emily, each word filled with guilt and longing. "I'm so sorry, Emily," I barely managed to whisper, my voice filled with sadness and pain. "I never wanted any of this to happen." I continue, my words choked by the weight of my emotions. "Please, if there's any way to make amends, I'll do anything." The sight of her standing before me, offering forgiveness, only intensifies my heartache and the sense of regret. Emily's smile, filled with love and understanding, seems to soothe some of the turmoil within me. Her words, acknowledging my lack of intent and understanding of my past mental state, begin to alleviate the guilt that had consumed me for so long. The weight of the burden I've carried seems to lighten a little, but the pain of losing her still remains. I take in her words, slowly processing the forgiveness she offers, and a sense of relief, though tinged with lingering sadness, washes over me. In a tender moment, Emily gently lifts my gas mask, exposing my face. Our eyes meet and a sense of intimacy washes over me. She leans in and plants a soft, passionate kiss on my lips. The kiss is filled with love, forgiveness, and a deep sense of connection. Despite the surreal nature of this encounter, the warmth of her touch and the love that resonates in the kiss fills me with a bittersweet mix of happiness and sorrow. The embrace intensifies as Emily presses her body closer, our lips remaining locked in a passionate kiss. The warmth of her body against mine fuels a mix of longing and desire, and the depth of our connection in this moment is palpable. It's as if time stands still, and the only thing that matters is the love we share. For a brief instant, the pain and guilt lift, replaced by a moment of blissful connection with the woman I adore. As the kiss continues, I lose myself in the moment, relishing the feeling of Emily's embrace and the love she pours into the moment. The weight of guilt and responsibility fades slightly, replaced by a sense of peace and contentment. I cling to her, cherishing the stolen moments we share, knowing that this can't last forever, but treasuring the connection we found in this unorthodox encounter. Reluctantly, I break the kiss, the need for air overpowering the moment. As I pull away slightly, my gaze locks with Emily's. Her eyes shine with love and understanding, creating a sense of reassurance and forgiveness that eases the pain of the past. For a moment, we just stand there, silently holding each other. The weight of our love and the knowledge that this encounter is an anomaly in time yet to be understood. I hold on to this precious moment, knowing that it may be the last time I see her this way. Emily whispers a heartfelt request, "Hold me tightly." With a mixture of longing and affection, I oblige, cradling her in my arms, pressing her close to my chest. The feel of her body against mine fills me with both joy and sorrow. The realization that this is a temporary respite, a glimpse into a realm beyond reach, adds an extra layer of poignancy to the moment. With a gentle pull, Emily takes my hand and guides me through the subway train cars. The act of walking together, hand in hand, brings a bittersweet sense of normalcy to this surreal situation. We traverse the seemingly endless train car together, my heart pounding with a mixture of anticipation and trepidation as I wonder where she's leading me. Following Emily through the train cars, we finally arrive at a subway station platform, the doors sliding open with a whoosh. The familiar surroundings of the station platform ground me slightly, providing a semblance of normalcy amidst the peculiarity of the situation. As we emerge onto the platform, a mix of intrigue and confusion fills me, and I turn to Emily, wondering what awaits us. As we stand on the platform, the eerie emptiness of the station sends a shiver down my spine. The usually bustling hub now stands deserted, devoid of any sign of life. The absence of people and the ominous quiet only heightens my sense of unease. I glance warily around, my senses on high alert, wondering what this eerie emptiness portends for us. Emotions surge within me as Emily's words sink in. It's time for me to go. The bittersweet realization that this momentary reunion is drawing to a close fills me with a mix of sadness and regret. I want to hold on to every second, to prolong our time together, but know deep down that this is a stolen moment. I take in her words, committing her face to memory, and nod in understanding. As Emily vanishes, a sense of emptiness engulfs me. Her parting words, "I'll always be with you," and the final tender kiss linger in the air, a bittersweet reminder of our brief but intense reunion. The absence of her presence leaves a void, yet I know that her memory and love will continue to guide me. Emily's absence, while painful, fuels a newfound determination within me. I resolve to honor her memory and not let her absence weigh me down. I draw strength from her love and the knowledge that she will always be with me in spirit. This realization propels me forward, ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. As I continue on my journey, her spirit remains a guiding force, reminding me of the strength of our love and the resilience it instills in me. With newfound determination, I move forward through the subway station, taking the escalators up towards the street level. The journey is a solitary one, but the weight of Emily's memory fuels my steps and strengthens my resolve. The light at the top of the escalators grows closer, signaling my emergence into the world once more. As I ascend the stairs and find myself in front of my house, I'm taken aback by the unexpected sight. Neighborhoods usually don't have subway stations nearby, leaving me puzzled and confused. Something about this feels off, adding another layer of mystery to the already strange events playing out around me. I stand there, looking at my house, trying to make sense of how I arrived here and how this all fits together. I turn to look back, expecting to see the subway station where I emerged, but it has vanished. The sudden disappearance of the subway entrance adds to my growing confusion. I rub my eyes, wondering if I'm seeing things, but the sight remains the same. With a mixture of astonishment and apprehension, I continue towards my house. As I stand in front of my house, an air of familiarity surrounds me, but the absence of the usual neighborhood noises is unsettling. Even more off-putting is the eerie silence where the bustling sounds of life should be present. A sense of unease creeps over me, and an uneasy atmosphere blankets the area, making me question the inexplicable emptiness. With caution in my steps, I move closer to my house, bracing myself for what I may find inside. As I enter my house, I'm struck by the normalcy inside. Everything looks just as it should, as if the eerie silence on the outside never existed. The sounds of a normal neighborhood start to fill the air, replacing the previous eerie quiet. I pause, taking in my surroundings, the familiar sights and sounds soothing my nerves slightly. Though the strange occurrence outside lingers in my mind, the normalcy inside offers a small sense of comfort and reassurance. I settle onto the couch, a mixture of relief and contentment washing over me. The realization that I was able to encounter and converse with the ghost of my late wife, Emily, and receive her forgiveness has brought a sense of peace. The weight of guilt and responsibility lifts from my shoulders, and I take a moment to savor the tranquility of the moment. With a sigh of exhaustion, I remove my protective gear, the police gas mask, helmet, armor, and uniform, discarding them on the floor beside the couch. The weight of the equipment is replaced with a sense of freedom and vulnerability as I sit there in my civilian attire, feeling the difference in my clothing and physicality. I rest back into the couch, relishing the newfound feeling of normalcy and comfort. As I glance back at my uniform, something catches my attention. The small body cam attached to the collar, still recording. The revelation leaves me slightly bewildered, and I wonder what events have been captured on the camera. The thought of having recorded the encounter with Emily sends a mix of confusion and curiosity coursing through me. With bated breath, I play the footage on the body cam, the screen illuminating the darkened living room. As the events unfold before my eyes, I see myself encountering the mysterious figure on the subway train and the subsequent reunion with Emily. The sight before me is an astounding mix of disbelief, shock, and awe. The realization that the entire encounter was captured on camera leaves me speechless. A realization dawns on me. I must have forgotten that I turned on the body cam. A wave of relief washes over me, mixed with a mixture of emotions. I'm relieved that the encounter with Emily was recorded, yet conflicted about the implications and what it means for me. The evidence captured on tape is undeniable, and I sit there, grappling with the complexity and significance of what I've captured on camera. With determination, I carry the body cam to my office room upstairs and place it on my desk. I connect it to my computer, ready to transfer the footage and ensure that the precious moment I shared with Emily is preserved. As the files transfer, I mentally prepare myself to rewatch the footage, knowing that the emotions will be intense. As I rewatch the footage with bated breath, a mixture of emotions washes over me. I feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude that the body cam was recording at that time, allowing me to have an undeniable record of the encounter with Emily. The sight of her, the sound of her voice, and the intimate moment we shared replayed before my eyes, filling me with a mixture of joy, sadness, and relief. I silently thank the heavens for the chance to capture this precious moment on tape. Feeling a pang of hunger, I decide to head back downstairs to find something to eat. The experience I've just relived has left me both emotionally drained and physically hungry. I make my way to the kitchen, opening the refrigerator to see what's available. Searching through the contents, I hope to find something quick, satisfying, and comforting. As I scan the contents of the refrigerator, a familiar container catches my eye, leftovers from my wife's cooking. The sight of her handmade food brings a mix of bittersweet emotions. Even though she's gone, her presence lingers in these simple things. I take the container out, relishing the taste and feeling a sense of connection with Emily. The flavors and textures in my mouth are a reminder that, although she's not physically here, her spirit lives on in the memories and moments we shared. Reaching into the refrigerator, I grab the container of leftovers. The familiar sight reminds me of the countless meals prepared by my wife, her love and care infused into each dish. As I start eating, I savor the flavors and textures, each bite bringing back memories of time shared with Emily. My thoughts are consumed with the bittersweet contrast between the joy of these moments and the deep sense of longing for her presence. These simple leftovers are a tangible reminder of the love we shared and the absence we now endure. As I finish the last bite of the leftovers, I take a moment to reflect. The act of eating the food my wife prepared, even after her passing, serves as a poignant reminder of the bond we shared. The taste and texture of the meal linger in my mind, creating a delicate balance between the joy of reliving the memory and the pain of her absence. Despite the loss, I find solace in these moments, clinging to what remains of our connection. After finishing my meal, I quench my thirst with a glass of water. I then move to the living room and sit down on the couch to watch some TV. The familiar routine offers a sense of comfort and normalcy, providing a momentary distraction from the tumultuous emotions inside. After watching for a while, drowsiness starts to set in, and I decide it's time to call it a night. I switch off the TV, switch off the lights, and head upstairs to my bedroom for some much-needed rest. As I enter the bedroom, the space feels strangely devoid of Emily's presence. Though her belongings still linger, the absence of her physical presence hits me hard. Despite the familiar surroundings, a sense of emptiness fills the room. Tossing and turning, I struggle to find sleep, the events of the day replaying in my mind. Memories of Emily and the haunting realization that she's gone now overwhelm me, making sleep seem elusive. Despite the turmoil within my mind, exhaustion eventually takes over, and I doze off, slipping into a restless slumber. My dreams are haunted by fragments of Emily and the memories we shared, creating a surreal and bittersweet dreamscape that leaves me feeling both comforted and tormented in equal measure. My sleep is restless and fitful, full of disjointed dreams that mix memories of Emily with fragments of the experiences I've had. The dreams are a kaleidoscope of emotion, shifting from joy to despair and back again. The images and sensations blur together, leaving me unsettled and yearning as I float in the liminal space between sleep and wakefulness. I wake up with a start, roused from slumber by a familiar and alluring smell wafting through the air. The scent of cooking fills my nostrils, a distinct and unmistakably tantalizing aroma. Confused and curious, I sit up in bed, wondering where the odor is coming from. As I take a deeper breath, the unmistakable scent of Emily's signature dish fills my lungs, her delectable barbecue chicken and salad. The realization sinks in, and I am transported back to those evenings when she would lovingly prepare this meal, greeting me with warmth and a welcoming smile every time I returned home after work. The memories flood my senses, and a pang of bittersweet longing echoes within me as I savor the all-too-familiar aroma. Driven by curiosity and the powerful lure of the scent, I rise from my bed and descend downstairs. The air is heavy with the mouth-watering smell, and the feeling that Emily is in the kitchen preparing her specialty brings a sense of warmth and comfort. As I approach the kitchen, I brace myself for what I may find, my heart a mix of anxious anticipation and eager excitement. As I enter the kitchen, I am immediately struck by the sight before me. Standing there, with her back towards me, is a woman figure diligently working on the barbecue chicken. The familiarity of her movements, the concentration in her actions, and the way her hands move so skillfully in the kitchen fill me with a mix of astonishment and disbelief. It can't be. Could it possibly be Emily? Summoning every ounce of courage, I gather my strength and utter, "Emily, is that you?" The words are barely a whisper as they escape my lips, fear and hope grappling within me. The figure stops mid-movement, as if sensing my presence and the question in the air. Time hangs suspended for a brief moment, and the air is thick with tension and anticipation. As the woman turns to face me, my heart skips a beat as I realize that it's Emily, standing there in the kitchen looking so alive. Her appearance brings a flood of emotions, and I can hardly believe my eyes. I take a step towards her, as if drawn by an invisible force, needing to confirm her presence. She flashes a warm smile, her peach leather shirt gleaming under the kitchen lights, and her voice breaks the silence with a gentle confirmation. "Yes, it's me." My eyes drink in the sight of her, every detail etched into my memory, the slight curl of her hair, the twinkle in her eyes, the warmth of her smile. Time seems to slow down as I absorb this miraculous moment. Emily stands before me, alive and radiant, a sight I never dared hope for. My heart swells with a mixture of disbelief and overwhelming love and joy as I struggle to find words to express my emotions. In awe and bewildered, I manage to stutter out, "How can this be? You're here, but you're dead." The words catch in my throat, a mixture of confusion and wonder. I reach out to touch her, needing to confirm her tangible presence. As my fingers brush against her arm, a surge of disbelief and joy courses through me at the realization of her actual existence. Tears well up in my eye, threatening to spill over at any moment. Emily gazes at me, a smile on her lips, and says, "The famous legendary godlike being saw our reunion and brought me back to life. I am as alive at this moment as you are." Her words sink in, and a torrent of emotions washes over me. The idea that a divine entity intervened to grant me a second chance at love is overwhelming. I stand there speechless, grappling with the magnitude of this revelation. My mind races, trying to wrap itself around the news that a higher being has taken pity on me and returned Emily to life. Is this a gift or a curse? All I know is that I am filled with gratitude and love for this mysterious entity. I step closer to Emily, cupping her face gently in my hands, feeling the warmth of her skin against mine. I can hardly believe this is real, yet here she stands, alive and present, as real as the beat of my heart. My heart swells with love, and I pull her into a tight embrace, holding her as close as possible. I bury my face in her hair, savoring the familiar scent of her, the feel of her body pressed against mine, the miracle of her resurrected presence. With tears streaming down my face, I whisper, "I thought I'd lost you forever. Now you're back, and I can't believe it. It's as if everything has come full circle, and I never want to let her go again." Emily rests her head on my chest, her breath warm on my skin. Her body is pressed close to mine, and I feel the contours of her against me, a reminder that she is truly real and tangible. I run my fingers through her hair, marveling at the feeling of her strands, the texture comforting and familiar. In this moment, time seems to stand still as we hold each other, the love between us more intense and encompassing than ever before. The room is filled with a quiet contentment, punctuated only by the steady sound of our breathing and the distant hum of the fridge. I pull back slightly to look into Emily's eyes, searching for any trace of doubt or uncertainty. But all I find is her unwavering love and affection, a reflection of my own emotions. Without words, we communicate, our connection stronger than ever, as we share this extraordinary moment together, defying the very bounds of life and death. A sense of peace washes over me, mingled with an undeniable surge of passion and longing. I pull Emily closer, my lips finding hers in a tender yet urgent kiss. The warmth and sensation of her mouth against mine sends a shiver down my spine, a tangible reminder of the intense love we share. In this moment, the world around us fades into the background, and all that matters is the connection between us, alive and thriving against all odds. Emily breaks the embrace and turns back to the stove to finish cooking the barbecue chicken. I watch her movements, each one filled with familiarity and grace. The sight of her, back in the kitchen and preparing a meal, fills me with a sense of peace and warmth. As the savory scent of the chicken wafts through the air, I realize that this moment, however extraordinary, is also mundane and everyday. But the fact that Emily is here, alive and with me, makes even the mundane feel extraordinary. With a soft smile, Emily ladles the savory barbecue chicken onto a plate, alongside a generous helping of salad. The sight and smell of the food reminds me of countless meals we have shared together in the past. She hands the plate to me, and I take it gently in my hands, the warmth of the food a soothing sensation. I can't help but be overcome with a sense of affection and gratitude for the woman who stands before me, resurrected by the grace of a higher being. As I hold the plate, the food a tangible connection to the life we shared and the one we will continue to build together, I feel a sense of contentment and satisfaction. My mouth waters in anticipation of the flavors that await me, and I begin to eat, savoring each bite, appreciating the taste and the care put into the meal. The mundane act of eating takes on new meaning, underscored by the profound love and connection I share with Emily. The combination of flavors from the cooked chicken and vibrant vegetables dances on my taste buds. The texture of the chicken, richly seasoned and tender, contrasts beautifully with the crispness of the vegetables in the salad. With each spoonful, I am reminded of the simple joys that life has to offer, and how even the most basic of acts takes on a new significance when shared with someone you love. My heart fills with contentment and appreciation, a quiet sense of joy blooming within me. As we finish our meal, the kitchen quiet and peaceful, Emily and I clean up and prepare for bed. Hand in hand, we make our way upstairs to our bedroom, the same room where I had slept alone just hours before. But now, with Emily by my side, the room feels almost magical, full of hope and possibilities. We slide under the covers, the familiar comfort of the sheets and duvet a reminder of our shared history. I wrap my arm around Emily's slender frame, pulling her close to me. Her body fits snugly against mine, and I can feel the warmth of her skin through the fabric of our pajamas. Her familiar scent surrounds me, a mixture of her perfume and the lingering smell of the barbecue chicken on her breath. In the quiet darkness of the bedroom, we lay together, our hearts beating as one. Time seems to stand still as we bask in the simplicity and intimacy of our embrace. The gentle rhythm of our breathing soon falls into sync, and the hours drift by as we lay there, entwined in each other's embrace. The sound of Emily's soft breaths fills my ears, a soothing and reassuring lullaby. The weight of her head on my chest brings a feeling of contentment and security, and I find myself drifting off to sleep, enveloped in a sense of peace and love. Just before slipping into the realm of dreams, my thoughts turn to the events of the day. The incredible revelation of Emily's return to life and the overwhelming emotions it has stirred within me play through my mind. With the final, lingering thought of how fortunate and blessed I am, I surrender to the comfort of sleep, my body relaxing and my mind fading into sweet unconsciousness. With Emily by my side, the weight of the world lifts off my shoulders, and for the first time in years, I slip into a peaceful and restorative slumber. In my dreams, I envision the beautiful, love-filled future that lies ahead. The prospect of sharing it with Emily, my partner in life and love, fills me with a renewed sense of hope and optimism, and I drift off into a state of profound contentment.